Last time, on My Hero Academia, Izuku has just received a letter by his mother from UA High School. He opens it, revealing that All Might, the #1 hero, is here to bring him the good news. Now that Izuku is a UA student, what adventures and trials could he possibly face ahead? Find out next time on My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fake. I forgot there were more episodes in season 1 that leads to season 2. So I'm gonna review them all until we get to season 2. The episode starts us off with us at home and we see our boy looking stiffy for the first day of school. Boy, I got a tear in my eye. Mama Deuce making sure he got everything before she sends him off. Then it takes us to where he's rushing inside of school, making sure he's not late for class, and as he approaches the classroom door, the reality sets in that our boy has finally made it. Man, we've been rocking with Deuce since day 1. Now the day is upon us where we all get to eat. Never mind, man, we already starting off with some bullshit. Turns out, we got class with these niggas. Dickhead #1 and dickhead #2. But even though the kid got class with these niggas, at least we got class with us. Nigga, Miydoria, if by the end of the anime you haven't cuffed up fine shit, it's gonna be me and you, cause fuck you, me and you gonna pass up on Prada Bay, the #1 supporter, the wife of my future kids. Ochako comes up to Deku all excited and shit, giving him compliments about how amazing his punch was. Yes, continue to glaze him. As they continue to talk, it cuts to this nigga and he always got a problem. It cuts us to a flashback of Miydoria and Bakugo getting congratulated by their teacher on making it to UA High School, and as the teacher is giving compliments, this nigga is eyeing him down. What could he have possibly done to you? Dude then presses Miydoria on the side of the school, claiming that he must have cheated on the exam and he's supposed to be the only and first student from their school to get into UA. Man, this nigga make me so mad, cause he don't know the beginning of it all. The time, the effort, the sweat, the tears, the dedication. The kid has what it takes to be a great hero, but some niggas just don't want to see you succeed. It don't make no sense. And for the first time in forever, we get to see this nigga Miydoria stand up for himself against this dude. Can we please get a round of applause from ladies and gentlemen? Cause even though he's doing this scared, he had to let that nigga know. Then it cuts us back to dude and he is pissed. It then takes us to Miydoria locking up on Ochako as she tells him how will their teacher be like until...
If you're just here to make friends, then you can pack up your stuff now.
Yeah, dude's an oddball. Son is in a sleeping bag outside of their classroom and starts to take it off as he tells him that they took too long to be quiet and that isn't gonna work for him since time is precious. And not gonna lie, this nigga reminds me of my junior and senior year English teacher. Bro was rarely laid back and was always strict. As he completely takes it off, Miydoria starts to analyze dude, trying to figure out what hero he is until he addressed the class, introducing himself. His name is Shoto Aizawa, their teacher. He then tells the students to put on these UA fitness uniforms as it then cuts to All Might saying how UA doesn't follow the normal hero school's tradition, and if you end up with the wrong teacher, your life will be hell. And boy oh boy, we know. It then cuts us outside to the students as they all yell we are taking a quirk assessment test as they don't want to miss orientation, but their teacher shuts that shit down immediately. He then reinstates that UA isn't tethered to tradition, so he is allowed to run his classroom wherever he likes, as he then tells them that all they've been doing is standardized testing all their lives and none that involve their quirks. He calls up Bakugo to be the test dummy since he scored the highest on the test, as he then hands him a ball and tells him to use his quirk with it, and buddy, Blood throws that bit out of the park, getting him over 700 meters. Bakugo setting the stage for everyone else inspires them to want to do their best as they say it seems fun until their teacher shuts that shit down, revealing the truth behind this exercise. He is doing this to see how good their potential is, and whoever scores last will be expelled on the spot. It then cuts us back to All Might as he realizes that Miydoria got Aizawa for his teacher, who is known for being an extremely strict instructor, and so the test begins. It then shows us a multitude of different tests that the students proceed to take, and not gonna lie, it's looking bad for the kid. Blood is coming in last in everything as the rest of his classmates are just having a field day until it gets to the final test, the throwing test. As Miydoria gets ready to throw the ball using his quirk, his teacher, already informed about Miydoria, sits back and waits for the moment he uses his quirk and... yeah, Buddy quirk did not work. It then cuts to his teacher who has activated his quirk, whose power has the ability to erase their power as long as he stares at them, earning him the name Eraserhead. Ain't gonna lie, that nigga kinda tough. He starts to question Miydoria on if he can even control his quirk, and if he had used it, what use would he be afterwards. He then pulls Miydoria in, telling him that with his reckless power, he has no chance of becoming a hero, as he then tells him to take his final throw. As Miydoria gets ready to throw his final ball, he locks it mid-motion, realizing that he can send his powers into different parts of his body, sending it to his fingertip, allowing him to throw the ball flying into the air, landing him a good score as everyone watches in amazement. He then turns to his teacher, showing that this nigga ain't just no dumb nigga, but a young talented nigga at best who is trying his hardest just as much as everyone else. As that right there ends episode 5. So episode 6 picks us right off where we left in the episode. Everyone is glazing Miydoria for such an amazing throw, everyone but him. Bugging ass nigga. Bakugo is in complete shock, wondering how in the hell did Miydoria manage to throw a ball that good without having a quirk. He then tries to press it in front of the entire classroom, as then the long lost member of the Chia clan grabs dude, telling him to calm that shit down. As they then take the rest of their exam until the results are in. Everyone is on edge as they look for where their names were, and just like that, man, Miydoria was on the last of the list. As he gets ready to accept his fate, their teacher closes, saying that he lied, claiming that it was only a rational deception. A rational deception? Son, I would've upped that one for all 100% so fast on that nigga for that bullshit. As everyone is shocked, one of their classmates looks at them in confusion, apologizing for knowing that he was lying and not saying anything about it. As class gets dismissed, Aizawa hands Miydoria a note to go to the nurse's office, and after the trip to the nurse's office, as everyone is going home including Miydoria, he gets stopped by Ida, checking in on him to see how his finger is. As they continue to walk and talk about how class was today, Fine Shit comes up to them and asks if they're going to the same place and that she'll be joining them on the way. Man, I love that girl. As she joins up with them, she then calls Miydoria by that shitty name Deku, as he then tells her that that name was given to him to be made fun of, as she then says that even though that name has that connotation to it, she finds it cute, and this nigga, after hearing that, immediately accepts it as his hero name. We then get to see some student life shit happens as they are in class and eating until they get to go back to class, and all of a sudden All Might appears in his Silver Age outfit, telling the students that he'll be instructing them on their combat training today. He tells them that their hero costumes have come in today, as he then tells them to suit up and meet him by the training grounds. We then see them link up with All Might for their hero training in their hero costumes, and not gonna lie, these motherfuckers are dripped out. These students were allowed to customize their own outfits, as it then shows us the last person running out of the tunnel, revealing it to be Lord have mercy. This nigga outfit is straight buns. Ochako, seeing his outfit, comes up to him to talk about it, as it then reveals hers and sweet baby Jesus. For the love of God! Arthur, where you at? I just gotta dab you up, gang, cause you know exactly what you're doing. All Might then looks at the kid's outfit, realizing that his outfit is quite literally a watered down version of his entire character. All Might then addresses the class, telling them that today's training will be in teams, as he then tells them that they will be playing a game of capture the flag. One team would be the villains, another would be the heroes, and their objective is to capture a bomb that the villains are protecting. As All Might draws the teams, we get to see everyone get paired up, and somehow Miydoria got paired up with Fine Shit. And God, I just want to say I love this offer. After everyone gets paired up, he draws to see who will be going against each other in the first match, and somehow Miydoria and Ochako gotta go against Bakugo and Ida. As everyone heads to the spectating room, Miydoria is just standing there all nervous and shit until he looks to his side, seeing that this nigga is staring him down. Miydoria is shaking in his nervousness, suddenly locks in and stares at bro back, shocking him as the round then starts. As they move around the building searching for the room that has the bomb, Deku warns Ochako about Bakugo, saying that he will come after them because that's just how he is, and as they continue to search, this nigga pops up out of nowhere trying to catch a body. He tells Miydoria to stand up and fight, as it then cuts to his classmate watching it live, as they are surprised Miydoria dodged the attack and calls Bakugo a man lead for sneak attack. It then shows Bakugo going in for another attack, and as he throws it, Miydoria wins the quick time event and captures his arm, executing a counter move and slamming this nigga down against the hard floor. That's what I'm talking about.
That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Pussy ass nigga, fuck wrong with you. As he gets back up, Miydoria begins to tell him that he knows that when he attacks, he leads with his right arm, and that he's been studying film of every great hero, including him. As he then makes a statement telling him that Deku is no longer the name of a loser, but the name of a hero. Ending episode 6. Episode 7 picks us right where we left off on episode 6, as Miydoria gets ready to square with Bakugo. Bakugo makes another move, causing him to tell Ochako to run away so he can run the ice with Bakugo as she handles Ida. As Bakugo makes that kick, bruh, Miydoria has been in his fucking bag lately. Dude's so locked in, he started using the capture take how his teacher Aizawa uses restraint bands. As he then predicts Bakugo hot-headed counterattack from a mile away, dodging it in time. Bruh, this nigga's so cold, son. Everyone starts to glaze Miydoria for how well he's holding up against Bakugo without using his quirk, as All Might then comments he's always been like that in times of crisis. As Miydoria recovers from the attack, he senses that Bakugo's attack pattern has changed, making him question if he's getting into his head. As Bakugo gets ready for another attack, Miydoria decides to run away, knowing he wouldn't be able to win in a close quarter combat against him, and Bakugo, like the dumbass he is, starts to fall for the rage bait and starts crashing out. As Miydoria finds himself a spot to rest at, he starts to analyze the flaws of Bakugo and Ida's teamwork, but also realizes that due to their differences in power, if he was to go help Ochako, Bakugo would soon follow pursuit, resulting in them losing the match. He settles on his plan of taking on Bakugo alone, as it then cuts to Bakugo, and this nigga is looking like someone stepped on his big Naruto. It starts to show us some old childhood flashbacks of Midoriya and Bakugo as they were kids and how one-sided and evil their relationship was. It then takes us to Bakugo and his friends and Midoriya exploring the woods as Bakugo suddenly falls into a shallow river as everyone yells out to see if he was alright. Midoriya, the kind-hearted kid he was the only one who came down to check up on him. And like I said, man, this nigga has been a tweaker from the start, cause you telling me that because he came down to see if you were alright, you seen that as him viewing you as a weakling? Yo, just nuked a whole generation. It then takes us to Ochako as she has found the room with the bomb in it. She starts to stalk Ida as he talks to himself about embracing the villain role and brother. This nigga is straight buns. This shit is even frying Ochako. Ida calls out Ochako as she then steps out revealing herself as he continues to play the role of the villain. He says that he has removed all objects in the room so that her quirk would be useless. Ochako then calls Midoriya telling him that she has been spotted and that they are near the middle of the 5th floor right above Midoriya's head. The time is ticking and Midoriya decides to go man up and go look for bro until he spawns right behind him. Bakugo says that he's all loaded up, confusing Deku as he then explains how his quirk works. He tells him that his sweat secretes this certain chemical that can be ignited into an explosion and that he's been storing up a lot of it. Bakugo then takes aim with his gauntlet as All Might was able to hear all that he said, telling him don't shoot that blast off as he does anyways, and that if Midoriya was smart he would dodge it as he then shoots it, exploding the entire hallway, the kid, and part of the entire building as well. The entire building shakes, including the spectator's room as well, as All Might yells out, "Is everything alright?" as the camera then shows us the aftermath of the explosion. The blast distracting Ida causes Ochako to make her move, and as she does, Ida tries to stop her as she then uses her quirk on herself, making her float above him as she goes towards the bomb. Ida moves it out of the way due to his quick thinking, telling her that she is no threat if she cannot touch anything, as she then remarks that this isn't over with. It then takes us back to Bakugo taunting Midoriya to make a move on him as he sits there trying to come up with a plan. All Might then comes into the speaker telling Bakugo that if he used that stored up power again, then his team will lose hella points, criticizing how doing so is reckless and has no benefit. As Midoriya talks with Ochako, Bakugo then makes a move towards him, and as Midoriya tries to dodge it, he loses his footing and tries to contest the attack with his own, resulting in Bakugo countering it and landing an explosion attack on him. Everyone then starts to glaze Bakugo for the move he just did, saying that each move required a lot of thinking behind it, as it then comes back to Bakugo winding up a nasty right hook that lands on Midoriya, stunning him long enough to grab him into an attack, swirling him around and slamming him down onto the ground. After his attack, Midoriya is left with no option but to use his quirk, as it then comes back to the spectator room as they all watch Midoriya get his ass handed to, saying that Bakugo is fitting the villain role too well, as a custom All Might wanted to end the fight, but he doesn't want to since he know it benefits Midoriya at the end of the day. Bakugo starts to walk towards Midoriya, saying why won't he use his quirk against him, as Midoriya admits that he is better than him. He also admits that he wants to win, making Bakugo yell at him to come at him as they both move towards each other. As Bakugo and Midoriya gets ready to clash, Midoriya starts to activate One for All Detroit Smash as Bakugo cooks up another devious explosion. It cuts to the spectator room as they try to tell All Might to end the match, but he can't cause this shit is too peak right now, and that would be the equivalent of a teacher cutting off the movie right when it starts to get good. As they both get closer and closer, All Might then tells them to stop, but Deku tells Ochako to grab onto the pillar. As they move in and land their hits, Midoriya changes his form last second as he yells out Smash, taking on the blunt blow of Bakugo's attack as Midoriya's attack goes upwards, breaking the floor and the rest of the building as it travels up, breaking the roof. It then shows Ida wondering what the hell is happening, as it shows Ochako clutching the pillar as she uses her quirk on it and combines it with the building's debris, sending it towards Ida as she then uses the moment to jump above Ida's head, landing on the bomb, ending the match. And man oh man, I wish Powder Bay would grab onto me like that the way she grabbed onto the bomb. It then cuts us back to Midoriya and Bakugo as he looks up at Midoriya's attack, saying that this was all a part of his plan all along, but Midoriya tells him that he wasn't going to use his quirk, as the smoke then reveals the damage it caused to Midoriya. Midoriya then tells him that his body just can't handle his power yet, so this was the only option they had of having any chance of winning, as it then shows us one hideous of a defeated face from Bakugo. The timer then hits 0, saying time up, as it shows everyone in the room is all quiet after what just happened. All Might, just as shocked, says that you did it. As Midoriya begins to fall unconscious, he yells out that the heroes have won, ending episode 7. Episode 8 picks us up right as All Might declares Team Miydoria as the winners of the Capture the Flag, as it then cuts to the spectator room and everyone is in shock with what just happened. They start to point out how weird the fight was, of how the losers are basically untouched and how the winners are basically injured, and then it shows All Might watching the robots carry Miydoria out, and that nigga is knocked the fuck out. As All Might continues to watch the robots take young Miydoria away, it then cuts us to him looking over at Bakugo, and he is having a midlife crisis. He starts to review how his fight went with Miydoria, claiming that he made him look like an idiot, and that if they were to really fight, would Miydoria really be able to beat him in an all-out battle, no holding back? All Might then appears, telling young Bakugo to calm down and to head back so that they can review their match. And I mean, look at this nigga All Might, bruh. God damn. Now I see why he's the #1 hero. This nigga looks like the fucking Hulk. They head back to the spectator room as All Might announces who the MVP was, and surprisingly, it went to Ida. Everyone confused asks why, as one student then steps up to explain. She starts off by saying that Bakugo was clouded by a silly rivalry with Miydoria that could have put himself, his partner, in the bomb at risk. She also says that Midoriya's plan was shitty, as it led to him becoming useless, and then she went to Ochako and hey now. bitch, you better watch what you say, cause you know how I feel about Prada Bay. I'll up that 5 for her. She says that Ochako let her guard down mid-battle and that her final attack was too reckless as it put the bomb at risk. She then gets to Edith saying that he took the proper time and precautions and never left sight of the objective. Man, I'll let it slide this time. After she gets done, we get to see more of the students battle it out, and bruh, when I tell you that the next battle was so one-sided, nigga, I don't even want to show it. Team B are the heroes and Team I are the villains. Team I has one person who is invisible as she takes off all her clothes, and as the match starts, this wannabe aura farming ass nigga comes in and touches the wall once and proceeds to freeze the entire building, capturing both heroes. He then walks into the room with the bomb in it and tells bro to stand down unless he wants to fight with his skin missing from the bottom of his feet, and as he admits defeat, the round ends just like that. And then this nigga proceeds to melt all of the ice. Goddamn, who is this dude? It cuts back to the spectator room as they start to glaze dude saying how powerful his quirk is and that he's also one of the students who came in on a recommendation. They then start to show the rest of the classes fights, and not gonna lie, we ain't watching all that bullshit. But I will point out that last match did have someone else in that hole who is some fine shit. As All Might tells him that that's all for today's training, he dismisses classes, telling them that he has to go check up on young Miydoria and to look at how a real nigga dips out and proceeds to hit the 100-meter dash in under 2 seconds. It cuts back to All Might as he comments on how Bakugo is too full of himself with pride and that even though it can be justified, their school is bound to show him that that shit means nothing. All Might then makes it to the nurse's room as he then gets scolded by the nurse for not ending the match and that Miydoria is too tired for his afternoon classes. She tells All Might that she cannot continue to keep treating all his injuries and that he should stop spoiling him. He apologizes to her but tells her that the only reason he allowed it is because he knew that's what the kid would have wanted and that she shouldn't be talking about one for all out loud like this. It then shows us Miydoria finally waking up as he looked towards the clock, realizing that it's late in the afternoon. As he walks back to his homeroom, he talks to himself about how he missed all his afternoon classes and how mad Aizawa was going to be at him. And as he gets closer towards the door and opens it, his classmates surrounds him, starting to glaze and compliment him about how well he did against Bakugo during the match. As they continue to talk to him, they start to introduce themselves as the redhead dude name is Kirishima, the tall dude is Sero, blonde dude gets interrupted by Fine Shit and her name is Mina, Fine Shit number 2 appears from behind her name is Sue, and the dude in the back name is Sato, and lastly, the jit name is Mineta. One dude then walks into class with Ochako trying to rizz her up and shit, asking if she's trying to go out to eat sometimes, and right before she responds, she sensed that the real nigga Miydoria was in the room and left this lame ass. As everyone then stands around Miydoria, he starts to see that one person is missing, asking where Bakugo went as they tell him he decided to leave. Miydoria starts to chase after him, trying to see if he can catch up to him as he makes it in time, catching him on the way going home. He then calls out to him, catching his attention, and this nigga is not in no mood to talk. Miydoria comes up closer to talk to dude as this nervousness starts to wash over him until he tells him that he has something to tell dude. He starts off by telling Bakugo that he really didn't have a quirk, but the quirk he has now was given to him by someone that he cannot disclose at the moment, and even though it sounds crazy, that's the reality of it. He also tells him that right now he doesn't have any control of the quirk and is trying to figure out how he can make the quirk his own, and that he had to use the power against him during the match because it was the only way they were going to win. As Bakugo gets irritated listening to him, Miydoria tells him that he has lost to learn and that one day he is going to make his quirk his own and beat him with that power, as that statement not only leaves Bakugo in shock but Miydoria as well, since he realized he said too much. Bakugo responded back to Miydoria telling him does he really think he's that stupid and that he's already made a fool out of him. Bakugo admits to Deku that he lost, and what's worse is that it was to him, and as he watched Ice Dude fight, he realized that there is levels to this quirk heroing shit and that he even agreed on what the girl said about him being reckless and stupid. Bakugo starts to get pissed off even more, telling Miydoria to enjoy his win as he looked up with tears in his eyes at him, declaring that he won't get another win against him and that he's only just getting started. He tells Deku that he's going to be the #1 hero no matter what as he starts to walk away, forming a small form of mutual respect for each other. All Might then appears out of nowhere saying that he was searching all over for dude and tries to give bro a motivational speech as he just got done humbling himself in front of Miydoria. And not gonna lie, bro, if I was Bakugo and All Might try to come up to me with all that bullshit after I just humbled myself, I tell this nigga to fuck off me, man. Fuck wrong with you. Bakugo tells All Might to remove his hands from him as he then tells him to save his weak ass speeches for another time and that he's gonna be a greater hero than him and that he's gonna do without his help. And man, sometimes things just don't change. All Might removes his hands from dude, allowing him to finally walk himself home. And as it cuts back to All Might, it goes towards the school, showing that all 3 fine shits was watching from the distance. They knew. They sensed the aura between Miydoria and Bakugo. As they snicker and chat amongst each other about what they just seen, it then shows Miydoria staring off into the distance with this newfound determination until All Might calls out his name, asking what he talked to Bakugo about. Miydoria tries to play it off, but All Might, knowing Miydoria, presses dude even more until it ends us right there on episode 8. And not gonna lie, y'all, I'm really starting to rock with this anime. This shit has been straight gas. It's been peak after peak after peak episodes, man. And we still only on season 1. So it takes us into episode 9, and Lord have mercy. The kid is freezing up on national TV. So because All Might became a teacher, the news press is starting to harass the students about how he's doing, and in classic Miydoria fashion, he tells them that he has to go while his pet goldfish and leaves. They then hit up Ochako asking for her opinion, and all she gives them is that he's really strong and big and muscular. And boy, the author know he wrong for this, cause they then ask this nigga Ida on what's his opinion, and Blood then goes into a full-on speech about how All Might is doing an amazing job and how much an honor it is to be under his belt. Pretty much just straight glazing this shit. They then found another student and they came across Bakugo. Jesus. The lady asks ain't he the sludge villain kid, and Bakugo showing some restraint tells him to walk away. And lastly, they then ask this dude Aizawa commenting on how he looks like a mess, as he then tells him that All Might is currently not on campus today and that they need to leave. As he walks away, the female reporter, not feeling satisfied by his answer, tries to walk into campus until the entire school goes into complete defense mode. One dude then explains to her that not just the entrance but the entire school has sensors like this to prevent anyone who isn't authorized on campus to set foot. Hell, I wish American schools had something like this. It then cuts us back to the news outlet as they talk amongst themselves about what to do next, and then it shows us some weird ass mysterious character standing in the background staring at the school, as it then takes us back to class and their teachers giving them feedback on their training with All Might from yesterday. He starts with Bakugo saying that he's talented but he shouldn't be bummed out by a single loss, and then he moves to Miydoria commenting on how that they only won the match by him having to sacrifice his arm, and again tells him to do better on controlling his quirk and that he isn't taking any more excuses on it. He then tells him that he can't just keep breaking his arm, but if he can perfect this quirk then he will be a valuable asset in the future. After that, Aizawa then addressed the class to tell them that their next decision will dictate their future, as they then all locked in waiting in anticipation on what he's about to say.
You all need to pick a class representative.
Just normal school stuff.
So now they have to choose a class representative, and everyone and their mama is shouting on why they should be a class representative. Hell, even shy boy Miydoria even rose his hand a little bit wanting to be chosen. Ida then yells out telling everyone to calm down and that choosing class representative is something they shouldn't be messing around about. He then suggests that they should hold an election to choose who their class representative be. And y'all, this nigga is frying me. Cause why is he also begging to be chosen after making that entire statement? They then vote, and as it shows who everyone voted for, somehow Momo and Miydoria won the vote, as it completely shocks Miydoria. Bakugo then gets up all mad and shit saying who voted for cuz, as Sero then says, do you really think anyone would have voted for your sorry ass, as it then cuts to Ochako and baby girl.
For the love of God!
Don't even gotta act no more. We know you voted for our nigga, our future #1 hero. Ochako playing it dumb says that she's gonna keep her vote to herself, as it then shows Ida shaking in resentment as he didn't get any votes, losing to his own system he made up. It then shows Miydoria shaking as Aizawa declares Miydoria the class rep and Momo as their deputy. Miydoria, still shaking with nervousness, wonders are they sure they didn't make any mistakes, as Momo then questions to herself how did this even happen. It then turns to the class as they are low-key fucking with Miydoria and Momo as their class representative, as the camera continues to zoom in on Ida having to take the loss to his chin. They then head to lunch, and as they chow down on their food, Miydoria starts to have second thoughts about being selected as class rep until Ida tells him he'll do well since he can think and act in time of crises. After saying that, Ochako asks then you want to be it badly, until he tells her that wanting and being qualified for a job are two different things, as he learned that from his family hero agency. Miydoria and Ochako picking up on that asks what agency until he finally gives in. He tells him that his family has been producing pro heroes for generations and asks him if they know who Ingenium is. Deku begins to nerd out telling him all he knows about dude until Ida says that that guy is his older brother. After explaining that, he tells Miydoria that he thinks it's too soon for him to be in a leadership role, but Miydoria has the qualities for it, and all of a sudden...
What is that?
Warning, level 3 security breach.
No way!
All students, please evacuate the building in an orderly fashion.
What's a level 3 security breach? It means that someone's managed to get past the school's barriers. This hasn't happened in my 3 years. We should get going!
All of a sudden, their school has to go into a lockdown because of a level 3 security breach, meaning that someone has gotten past their school defenses. As they all pour out into the hallway screaming and freaking out, the three of them get squished and shoved as they try to move, and suddenly Miydoria get his ass taken away by the mob, freaking out Ochako and Ida. As Ida wonders what the hell is going on, he looks out the window realizing that it's the damn media niggas, and they done broke into their school. The news media starts to beg Aizawa and Radio Dude for All Might's whereabouts, as he tells them to get their lame asses off their campus. Dude beside Aizawa says since they are trespassing, they're basically villains and that they should pack them up. Oh nah, this nigga bugging. But he ain't wrong though. It then cuts back to the students freaking out as Ida is the only person who knows the truth, but the rest of the students don't. Suddenly, he hears Ochako scream out calling for his name for him to come help her. As he moves towards her, he then comes up with the idea telling Ochako to use her quirk on him, and as she does, he goes up into the air, flies into the wall, and begins to announce to everyone that everything is okay. He tells them that it's just the news media outside, and as UA students, they must show the world that small things like this doesn't affect them, finally calming things down. The police then arrive, removing the news people from their school, as it takes us back to class, showing Miydoria telling them some something important. Miydoria begins to tell them that he thinks Eden should be their new class rep, as he then says that what he did in the lunchroom displayed hella aura and leadership skills, as everyone agrees with Miydoria making Eden their new class rep. After that, it takes us outside as a group of heroes are investigating their door, as it shows it has been completely decayed. The small rat begins to say that some villains had actually been able to bypass their defense, questioning the motives of it all. It then takes us back to class as Aizawa tells his class that today's training will consist of 3 instructors. Sero asks what kind of training that they will be doing, as it prompts Aizawa to show them that they will be doing rescue training, hyping everyone up as he then tells them to get their hero outfits on and meet him outside to ride to the facility. It then takes us outside, showing us Miydoria in his PE clothing ready to go, as Ochako then calls out Midoriya's name, wondering why he's wearing his PE clothing. He responds with that he's waiting on his clothing to be fixed from the Capture the Flag game, and what the hell is he doing? Jit, is you staring at? Oh hell nah. I know you ain't staring at no Ochako like that. Son, get your freaky ass. Bro, son was staring so hard that even Momo came up and was shocked by this nigga. They all then load the bus, and as they ride to the facility, Sue asks Miydoria about his quirk, and that is kind of similar to All Might's. Kirishima says that All Might's quirk doesn't self-harm himself, and that it would be easy to become a popular hero with a quirk like Midoriya's, commenting that if any of their classmates have pro-hero quirks, it would be Bakugo and Todoroki, which catches Bakugo attention. Sue then pitches in saying that Bakugo would never be a popular hero since he's always too damn hot-headed and angry, as he then reacts to her comment by lashing out, saying that he will kick her ass, proving her point. And not gonna lie y'all, this motherfucker Sue is funny as hell. She consciously knew what she was saying, baiting out a reaction from Bakugo, making him fall for the rage bait. She even said that shit with a straight face and then hit the flight emote. It then cuts to another student clowning Bakugo, saying that everyone is still new to each other and that you have made a bad lasting impression on everyone here. It then shows Miydoria freaking out since Bakugo is the one being made fun of and not him, as it then cuts to Momo and Chako sitting there listening to them argue. They then arrive to the facility and are immediately greeted by a hero that everyone recognizes. The hero name is 13 and she is a space hero. And nigga, why does this show got so many heroes with these tough ass names? First it was All Might, second is Eraserhead, now we get introduced to 13? God damn! Everyone is excited to see her as she then welcomes them into the facility. As they enter, everyone has a smile on their face because of how big and cool the facility is, saying that it's like an indoor amusement park. 13 then tells them that she created this facility with different disasters, calling it the Unforeseen Simulation Joint, aka known as the USJ. Everyone stares at her, realizing that it sounds just like the Universal Studios Japan, as Aizawa walks up to her asking her about All Might's whereabouts, as she tells him that he is currently at school because he did too much hero work and is tired. Aizawa, irritated, tells her that everything should be fine if it's just the two of them, as 13 then tells the students she has a few things she wants to tell them. She tells them about her quirk, which they already know about, as she then tells them that even though her quirk can be used to save lives, it can be used to easily take them as well. She tells them that it's the reason why quirks are strictly regulated and certified, and that them as students need to remember that as they are here training today. She continues to talk to them, inspiring them to hype them up. As Aizawa gets ready to tell them something, the lights suddenly fuse out and things begin to malfunction. As the students look up, a portal suddenly spawns in as Aizawa's spider senses starts to go off. As he turns around, it shows a hand coming out of the portal, revealing it to be the nigga from before. Aizawa then tells the students to stay together and don't move, as he signaled 13 to protect the kids. Kirishima, wondering who those people are, asks if the training has already started. As Miydoria tries to take a step forward, Aizawa tells him to stay back. Aizawa then throws on the Shaishi goggles, telling them that them people down there are the real deal and are villains, as it then shows off one big ass buff nigga walking through the portal, ending the episode. Man, episode 10 about to be some heat. Episode 10 picks us up as the villains start to pour into the USJ. Aizawa is already on go, as it cuts back to the main boss wondering where is All Might since he brought all these friends with him to come out and play. The students wondering what their motives are, as Aizawa pitches in telling 13 to get the students to safety. He tells them that someone is blocking their alert system, as Miydoria asks what Aizawa is going to be able to do. There's hella villains down there and he specializes in stealth and one-on-one combat. Miydoria trying to downplay this nigga as Aizawa turns around and tells little bro, sit down and watch, little nigga. He actually didn't tell Miydoria that, but you know what I mean. Aizawa then springs into the action as some father tries to tell his squad to take aim, and all of a sudden, Aizawa hits them with his Sharingan, and suddenly they shit don't work. Aizawa grabs the 3 of them with his bands, twirls them around midair, and slams them all together. Another villain runs up trying to press Aizawa, claiming he can't erase his quirk, as Aizawa dodges and weaves his shit in. Ooh, nigga, I hope you bulletproof, cause this shit gotta hurt. Straight cracks his shit and grabs him, sends his dude behind him and pop Ultra Instinct, dodge and get kicks dude in the head, making him stumble back into the others as he slams bro down from the top onto them, as he then poses for the camera. Oh my goodness, this nigga is nasty. And bro, when I tell you this nigga Aizawa doesn't discriminate, he don't, cause he then cancels out this girl's quirk and straight flying kicks her ass, packs up other dude as it then cuts to the main boss Glazing Sun saying that the worst thing about pros is when they live up to their name. Miydoria watching Aizawa put belt to ass on them comments on how he's holding them off all on his own as Ida calls out to him telling him that they don't have time to spectate. As they try to make a run to the exit, they get stopped by Purple Smoke Dude, which throws Aizawa off of his game. Purple Smoke Dude starts to tell the students that All Might was supposed to be here but looks like he's not here. As Kirishima and Bakugo tries to make some shake, their attacks weren't effective at all. 13 tries to tell them to get out the way, but Purple Dude suddenly attacks them. The only people who made it out was Sato, Ida, and Ochako, as the rest of them gets caught as he starts to scatter them around the USJ like some sunflower seeds. We find out that Sue, Miydoria, and Mineta were sent together, and in classic Mineta fashion, he always got harassed the female students, which Sue slams his ass down hard for it. As they sit there trying to formulate a plan, the villain starts to close in on their position as they have them surrounded. As Miydoria tries to cook up a plan, it shows the other students in their current situations as they battle the villains. It cuts back to All Might as he finally gets ready to lead to head to the USJ until little rat dude busts in telling All Might to be chill, coming to find out that this little nigga is the principal and his name is Nezu. He shows All Might the news about him resolving 3 incidents before he got here and tells him that he can no longer be doing that with his position as a UA teacher. He also tells bro that he should be focusing on his students and training the one-for-all successor, and bro talks so damn much that All Might change back into his regular form. As All Might tries to tell dude that he needs to appear at the USJ for class, Nezu tells dude to stay a little longer and listen to his teaching philosophies. As he pours All Might a cup of tea, you already know it's about to be a long day for All Might. It cuts back to the USJ as one of the students found out that the purple dude scattered everyone across the USJ to pick them off. 13 tells Ida that she's gonna need him to run to the school and alert the teachers about their current situation. Ida tries to make an excuse to stay as the rest of them then step up in his defense, letting him know that they will be fine without dude. And as he gets ready to take off, dude tries to attack, but 13 activates her quirk, sucking his ass up. And then it cuts us back to Miydoria and them as Mineta is losing his fucking marbles. All that crying and shit he doing. How did he make it into UA again? Miydoria figures out that the villains have no idea what quirks the students got because they sent Sue to a place where she has the advantage at instead of a different terrain. As they discuss what each other's quirks are, Sue tells them that she basically has the abilities of a frog, which for some reason turns Mineta on. Freaky ass. Dora tells him that he basically has super strength and that it's a one-shot move that leaves him vulnerable, as Mineta tells him that he can produce sticky balls that can stick to any surface for any duration of time depending on how he's feeling. And why does this nigga look like a Simpson character? The villains suddenly attack their boat, and Mineta freaking out tries to do something by throwing his balls into the water, but they don't do a damn thing until Miydoria comes up with an idea. Miydoria jumps into the water, singing a calculated smash into it, causing it to sink into the middle as he calls out to Sue and Mineta as they both grab onto him, using his momentum to carry them away. Mineta, using his quirk for good, starts to throw them where the villains are, causing them to sink into the middle. The balls stick to them, and as they continue to sink to the middle, they end up bunching up together, giving the victory to the students, ending episode 10. Now, episode 11 was low-key some hot ass, not gonna lie, and the only important takeaways you need from was that after Sue, Miydoria, and Mineta make it to safety, they decide to hang back just in case Aizawa needed some help, and then it shows the rest of the students and their success against the villains until it goes back to Aizawa fighting the villains until the boss comes up and lands a critical wound on him, saying he found his weakness, and as Aizawa continues to fight against him, he sends the bird nigga, and Lord have mercy, this nigga had him hurt. 13 also got critically wounded trying to suck up dude's quirk until he Uno reversed her ass, sending it right back to her. It cuts back to Aizawa as he is getting tortured by the bird dude as Ida was successfully able to make it past the purple dude and run to their school. As it's game over for the villains, before they leave, they wanted to hurt All Might's dignity by killing the student as he tries to go after Sue. Miydoria stops him but only ends up hitting the bird dude, and suddenly All Might appears. About damn time. Episode 12 picks us back up as All Might has now entered the building, and this nigga is ready to whoop some ass. The villains stir up at him, commenting how it's really him and that they ain't expecting to be this nigga. I know y'all seen that. Just take me to jail, I ain't even wanna be here. All Might packs him up, the other two, and some more grunts as well as he saves Aizawa. It shows Aizawa's body and All Might shows the villain boss tweaking out as All Might was able to land a hit on him, saying that he is getting weaker. Miydoria tries to tell All Might that the bird dude is too strong since he ate one of his punches, not realizing who he's talking to. All Might reassures Miydoria, telling him that this is light work. As the students then carry Aizawa away, All tries to glaze All Might until Miydoria pitches in with his inner monologue, saying that even though it seems like that, All Might ain't the same like he used to be, which makes Miydoria worries as it cuts back to All Might, and damn, they done caught this nigga. Turns and tries to break himself free. The purple dude tells All Might that once he's got him into his gate, he's gonna squeeze him until he's in half. Miydoria, seeing this, tells them to carry Aizawa as he is going to try and help All Might. As it cuts to everyone on the battlefield, it takes us up to where the HUD's at as Ochako is glad to see them helping All Might until she notices Sue and Mineta carrying Miss Aizawa. It then takes us to the boss as he is disappointed in his minion for getting captured by a child, as he then motions to the Nomu to get up as it then proceeds to break its limbs and regrow new ones. All Might says he thought that Shaki's origin was its only quirk until the boss says that he never said he owned. It reveals that that All Might has tanked the blow for Bakugo, moving him out of the way. Todoroki suggests that they all jump in and defeat them until All Might tells them to stay back and get away, as Midoriya pitches in saying that All Might won't be able to fight them on his own until he reassures Midoriya again. All Might clutches his fist and takes a deep breath in as it shows the boss going after Midoriya and them. It cuts back to All Might as he is finally getting serious. He dashes towards the Nomu as it does the same as they clash into a fist-on collision, sending everyone flying back as they continue to land fist-on collision punches. Niggas generating so much power that the others can't even get close. All Might punches the Nomu, sending it flying back. Episode 13 brings us back to the aftermath of All Might versus the Nomu, and the boss is tweaking out. All Might stands there aura forming as he teases the villain boss to make his next move, and everyone is glazing All Might for his performance. Everyone but Midoriya. Midoriya realizes that All Might is smoking up a storm, meaning that he's about to transform out of his muscular form. As Kurogiri peeps this, he tells his boss that they haven't lost yet and that All Might is weakened due to the Nomu, meaning that they still have a chance. As the villain boss regains his composure, he moves in towards All Might, capitalizing on his weakened state, getting ready to land a finishing blow until Midoriya comes in with a clutch save just in time to save All Might, but it was a trap as the boss warps his hand towards Midoriya's face, resulting in game over. Until someone shoots his hands as it shows that backup has arrived, as dude sends out more shots to the villains, picking them off one by one. It shows Ida yelling out that he has completed his mission and that he has brought reinforcements, showing all the different pro heroes including the principal. The teachers start to do their thing, packing up the villains in their own ways, as it then cuts back to the villain boss trying to leave until his ass gets switched down by the dude in the cowboy hat. Sun hit everything but the head. This nigga is ass. Kurogiri tells the boss that they need to retreat as they try to warp get away. 13 tries to stop them from escaping, but they get away in time as the boss tells All Might that one day he will be the reason he dies. After the incident, the students are taken account of and are sent back to their classes as All Might and Midoriya are currently resting in the nurse's office from their injuries. We find out that the Nomu has been captured and so have the villains, which make things a little safer as a policeman then walks into the room that they're in. Midoriya asks about who he is as All Might tells him that he is a good friend of his that knows his secret. All Might asks about how everyone is doing as he tells All Might that Aizawa and 13 are recovering, but Aizawa has sustained life-changing injuries. It cuts to All Might as he reflects on what happened today, saying that these students are different this time around, commenting that they will make fine heroes when the time comes, as it then shows a quick montage of all the different students in class 1A, as it then cuts back to All Might giving Midoriya a thumbs up as it takes us outside, showing the school ending episode 13. And y'all, a lot has happened within these past couple of episodes, and did I lie saying that this was season 2? Maybe, but I'll review season 2 at a later date, not trolling, as the month of December will be dedicated to a special anime I have in mind for y'all. So I do hope that y'all have enjoyed this anime recap of My Hero Academia season 2 being absolute cinema, even though it's not season 2. This will be releasing on Thanksgiving, so y'all can watch this as you're scarfing down a turkey leg and some mac and cheese. And until then, I'll see y'all in the next one.
Hmm.